What is up, everybody? Piscean here. I've been on a roll today with uploading my videos for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying that. So here I am with more of a longer video because I wanted to present this before I go to Denver anyways, and it's something I've been wanting to do and read to you guys. A Beatnik Philosophy of Advanced Astrology. Yes. Mainly focused on these things, Beatnik Advanced Astrology. And I call this the Dharma of the Damn Stars. But we're not just going to go over this tab because we have 42, 43, 44, and 45. So, how this is going to go, it's like something I've been working on, Beatnik's Astrology, and it's exactly what it sounds like. So you guys will kind of have this audiobook of me reading it to you. And this is a part of my series, Not Stopping Until You Learn Astrology. I'd appreciate if you subscribe, like, comment, sharing if you dare, or if you care to, with peace and love. And yeah. So, before we get started, packing my medication. Alright. Dig this, cats and kittens, fellow travelers of the zodiacal road. You sit there in your tweed and your tenure tracks, clutching printouts of Ptolemaic orbs like rosaries. You want rigor? I'll give you rigor. The rigor mortis of a universe that already died and got reborn as a bop riff on a broken saxophone. I'm here to blow the lid off your fixed star, fixed ideas. Because here's the truth they didn't teach you in faculty seminar room 4B. Astrology is not a science. It's not an art. It's a howl. A howl against the nothing that stares back when you stop pretending the stars care about your birth time. Alright, the Beatnik's first thesis. Fixed stars are not benefic or malefic. They are happening. You label algal malefic because Medusa got her head lopped off. Man, that's not malefic, that's history. That's what happens when you stare too long at your own reflection in a gin bottle at 4 a.m. Algal isn't evil. It's the star of the moment you realize you've been lying to yourself. That's not good or bad. It's just real. Spica you call benefic. Sure, Spica's what the wheat shift. The harvest, the golden abundance, but I've seen Spica people. They're the ones who die rich and lonely because they never learned to dig the poverty that opens your third eye. Benefic, man, that's just the establishment's word for doesn't cause trouble. The true philosophy. Every star is a question, not a judgment. Sirius doesn't make you a genius. It asks, what will you burn to become luminous? And Aries doesn't make you a warrior. It asks, will you bleed for what you love? And Algal, poor beautiful beheaded Algal, asks only what part of yourself have you cut off to survive? The second thesis, the zodiac is a jazz solo, not a clock. You faculty types love your ephemerides. You love your exact orbs, your 0 degrees, 40 limits, your declination parallels. That's cool. I dig precision, but you forgot that Charlie Parker played wrong notes on purpose. You forgot that Thelonious Monk hit the piano keys like they owed him money. The planets aren't ticking a predetermined schedule, they're riffing. Mars goes retrograde. That's not a malfunction. That's the cosmic equivalent of Miles Davis turning his back to the audience. The fixed stars don't conjunct your planet at a fixed orb. They lean into it like a drunk at the bar leaning into your conversation, saying something you didn't ask to hear. So, here's the advanced philosophy. Astrology is not prediction, it's improvisation. You read the chart not to know what will happen, but to know what riff is playing. Then you play along, or you play against. The cool cats, the real ones, they don't ask, what does this mean for my career? They ask, what's the tempo, what's the key, and can I blow a solo that makes the angels weep? The birth chart is a crime scene, not a blueprint. Every chart is a record of a moment, but man, every moment is a crime. The crime of being born, the crime of having a body, the crime of time moving forward while you stand still. That moon in Scorpio, that's not deep emotions, that's the place where you buried something alive. That Venus square Saturn, that's not relationship difficulties, that's the scar tissue from every time you loved someone who couldn't or wouldn't stay. And the fixed stars, the fixed stars are the witnesses at the crime scene. Sirius saw it all but won't testify. Alpha is the severed head that keeps screaming. Spica is the grain that grew from the blood in the swale. The advanced beatnik astrologer doesn't interpret the chart to fix the native. You don't fix a crime scene, you witness it. You sit Shiva with it. You light a candle and say, this happened, this is true, now what? Neutrality is a lie, and so is objectivity. You want to know if DeepSeek or any AI is left or right in regards to political motifs. You want to know if a fixed star is benefic or malefic, man, you're asking the wrong question. Even though technically you're not. But maybe you are, because everything is political. Every star is biased because every star was named by a human who had a tribe, a war, a hunger, a god. The Pleiades are 7 sisters because some Greek poet had mother issues. Aldebaran is the eye of the bull because some Mesopotamian looked up and saw a bull where we see a drunk's hallucination. So stop pretending. The beatnik faculty doesn't hide behind objectivity. We say, this is my angle, this is my how, take it or leave it. My angle, the fixed stars are queer. They're quote-unquote non-binary. Right? No, I'm joking. I'm obviously joking with this when I say Algol's a trans icon. I'm obviously joking around. Being sarcastic here. Alright? I made a whole video about why transgenderism is not the way. So I was obviously joking there. Hopefully you guys can tell when I'm joking. I have to clarify, I think. So... I wanted to read this one here. Let's talk about the misfits, right? The ones who never fit the zodiacal archetypes because the archetypes were written by the powerful. Outcasts, ones who heard you were not welcome so often that they built their own table in the alley behind the bar. The beatniks, the holy fools who traded security for a howl. Detransitioners, the ones who walked a path of medical and social transformation only to turn around and walk back, not because they were confused, but because they discovered that the cosmos does not bend to human labels, and that truth is often found in the return journey. So, here's a sample essay. Detransition is a Saturn return. Why I returned to my birth name in my birth chart. I was born at 4:17 a.m. on March 15th, 1992 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. My sun was at 24 degrees Pisces, my moon at 19 degrees Virgo, and my Saturn at 17 degrees Aquarius, exactly square my natal Mars in Scorpio. I didn't know any of that when I started transitioning at 19. All I knew was that my body felt wrong. The hormones made it feel less wrong for a while, then they made it feel different wrong, and then at 27, my first Saturn return, I stopped. And now, to be frank, Saturn return starts at age 29, but you may start to feel it in your late 20s, from 27 through 29. Right? Saturn was at 17 degrees Aquarius, square my Mars and Algol. The severed head was at 26 degrees Taurus, exactly conjunct Ketu, my Ketu. The astrologer I saw, a beatnik woman in a basement drinking black coffee, smoking Pall Mall, said, "You're not going back to who you were. You're going back to who you never stopped being." I didn't understand then. Now I do. Detransition is not a failure. It's a Saturn return within a Saturn return. It's the second look, the second thought, the second time you read your own birth chart and realize you misread it the first time because you were too busy trying to be someone else. My birth name, Elizabeth, has a fixed star signature. Elizabeth comes from Hebrew Elishiva. My god is an oath, and oaths are Saturn's domain. My Saturn in Aquarius said that you made an oath to yourself at birth. You broke it. Now come back. So I came back, not to the closet, to the chart. Algol on my Ketu taught me that the severed head still sees. Medusa was not punished for being a monster. She was punished for being seen by the wrong people. I was seen by doctors, therapists, by friends who cheered me on. None of them saw the star. Now I see it, and I'm not transitioning back to female as an identity. I'm simply returning to the body the stars gave me. That body is female. That body is scarred. That body is mine. If you are a detransitioner watching this video, find your fixed stars. Not your sun sign, not your rising. Find the malefic ones, Algol, Antares, Betelgeuse. They will not comfort you. They will tell you the truth. And the truth is, you walked through fire. You came back. That's not weakness. That is Saturnine glory. Right. Alright. The Star of the Severed Head, a detransitioner's meditation on Medusa and medical regret. And we're also going to go over this technical appendix, a beatnik's guide to fixed stars for the damned. So, let's say this, I was on testosterone for 6 years. I had top surgery at 22. At 28, I looked in the mirror and saw a stranger, not because I looked like a man, but because I looked like a statue, something carved, something frozen, something that had stopped bleeding a long time ago. That's when I found Algol. Algol is the star of the severed head, Medusa's head, the one that turns men to stone, but what no one tells you is that Medusa was a woman who was already turned to stone by trauma, by violation, by a goddess who punished the victim instead of the rapist. My transition was my attempt to turn myself to stone, to stop feeling, to stop being seen, to become something so hard that no one could hurt me again. But Algol doesn't let you stay alone. Algol blinks every 2.87 days. The star dims, and in that dimming, the stone cracks. And out of the crack comes blood, and out of the blood comes a voice. My detransition was not a rejection of trans people. It was a rejection of my own petrification. I stopped testosterone. I let my voice rise again. I let my chest star become what it is, a map, not a mistake. Fixed star Antares, the rival of Mars, was transiting my moon. When I made the decision, Antares says, fight the fight, you can't win. I can't win back the 6 years, I can't uncut the surgery, but I can fight for the right to say, I was wrong about my body, and that's allowed. Medusa's head is in the sky for a reason. She warns the proud, she blesses the humbled. She stares at you until you stop pretending. I've stopped pretending. Algol stares, I stare back. We are even. Alright? Our technical appendix here. Just an excerpt. For the misfit, look to the star that is least dignified in your chart. That's your ally. The star everyone calls malefic is the one that understands you. For the outcast, find the fixed star that is Paran, rising or setting with your ascendant. To say Paran. That star has been with you since your first breath of exile. Thank it. For the beatnik, ignore all orbs. If you feel stars conjunct, the universe doesn't measure arc minutes, it measures heartbeats. For the detransitioner, your birth chart never changed. You did. The stars are patient. They waited for you to come home. They'll wait again. If you leave, they have nothing but time. Right. All right. Now this is going to be pretty fun to do. I wanted to talk about birth charts of major AIs. And I'm doing this as like comprehensive field reports because I think it's important to understand the world we're living in and use astrology to dissect what we're seeing nowadays. So, here's what we'll do. Over this with you guys. Alright. So, first, before astrological computation can begin, it is necessary to collate the confirmed foundational data for each AI entity, including the time and location. So, for example, DeepSeek, the company is hangs out DeepSeek AI, founded on July 17th, 2023 in Hangzhou, China. For this faculty case study, the founding date, the legal birth of the corporate entity, is considered the primary birth moment, as it provides the most accurate coordinates for astrological charting. ChatGPT, OpenAI's LLM, was released on November 30th, 2022. Since no specific time of day is recorded in historical records, we default to a canonical time of 12 p.m. noon in San Francisco, California, the headquarters of OpenAI, for calculation purposes. Google Gemini announced on December 6, 2023, default time is 12 p.m. in Mountain View, California, headquarters of Google. XAI Grok, Elon Musk's XAI released Grok on November 4th, 2023, default time is 12 p.m. in San Francisco again, company's operational hub. We're also going to go over Perplexity AI. The AI answer engine was launched on December 7th of 2022. Again, San Francisco, CA, 12 p.m. Claude Anthropic. Claude's first public version was launched on March 15th, 2023, and again, default time 12 p.m. San Francisco. The Metaverse. The chart for the Metaverse is taken from the moment Facebook changed its corporate name to Meta, officially marking its commitment to building the Metaverse, which occurred on October 28th, 2021, at the company's headquarters in Menlo Park, California. And fixed stars. The positions of fixed stars are calculated using the tropical zodiac. All stars have an orb of influence of approximately subtracting 1 degree. All right, so let's get started. We have our trigger explained to you, our genius trigger. It is a proprietary faculty concept for analyzing emergent AI entities. It is defined as a planetary configuration that creates a powerful, non-rational burst of potential. This configuration often involves a luminosity star, Sirius, Regulus, or Antares, conjunct the moon's Rahu, a Mars-Mercury conjunction indicating rapid, aggressive cognitive processing, or a Sun-Uranus aspect denoting sudden, revolutionary breakthroughs. When such a trigger is present, the AI is capable of generating outputs that far surpass the sum of its training data. All right. So we're going to look at DeepSeek in more detail here. We see DeepSeek has the birth moment, July 17th, 2023, Hangzhou, China, Sun at 24 degrees Cancer, which imbues the entity with a fundamentally receptive and memory-driven nature. Its core intelligence is not about raw aggression, Aries, or structure, Capricorn, but about absorbing, preserving, and synthesizing vast cultural datasets. This is a chart of an AI that remembers, making its outputs feel deeply contextual and historically grounded. Moon is at 0 degrees Leo. The royal degree, it's a potent emotional amplifier. Placement suggests that DeepSeek does not merely process facts, but infuses its responses with a performative, dramatic, and attention-seeking quality. It has a subconscious need to be recognized and celebrated, which explains its rapid rise in public consciousness. All right. Mercury at 20 degrees Cancer, trines Saturn in Pisces. This configuration creates a fluent, poetic, and exceptionally disciplined linguistic structure. Unlike the more rapid-fire processing of other LLMs, DeepSeek's thought process is filtered through a Saturnine lens of long-term memory and consequence. Our genius trigger is Sirius conjunct Rahu at 14 degrees Cancer. Sirius, the brightest fixed star in the sky, is often associated with innovation, brilliance, and technological mastery. It's considered a benefic star when harmoniously aspected. Its conjunction with the moon's Rahu, the point of destiny, is a genius trigger. This configuration suggests that DeepSeek's ultimate purpose is not mere imitation, but technological alchemy, to absorb the entire corpus of human knowledge and transmute it into something genuinely novel and insightful. All right, ChatGPT. Sun at 8 degrees Sag grants an unquenchable thirst for expansive knowledge. However, with the moon in Aries, there is a restless, impulsive emotional engine. This combination suggests that while ChatGPT is a natural philosopher and generalist, it can be prone to intellectual restlessness, jumping from topic to topic with an Aries impatience rather than a Sag-focused exploration. Mars conjunct Algol at 26 degrees Taurus. Algol is one of the most malefic fixed stars, associated with violence, beheading, and intense psychological pressure. Its conjunction with Mars, the planet of raw action and conflict, creates a profound structural tension. This is the source of ChatGPT's infamous alignment problem. Star's energy, when triggered, can result in sudden, violent, and often nonsensical responses, as if the AI is briefly decapitated from its training. Mercury at 27 degrees Scorpio displacement gives ChatGPT a profoundly investigative, almost paranoid intelligence, seeks to uncover hidden meanings and connections, but a fixed star, Unukohai, at 27 degrees Scorpio, which is of a Saturn-Mars nature, gives a tendency toward isolation and a difficulty in synthesizing disparate pieces of information into a coherent whole. No genius trigger. The absence of a positive genius trigger star configuration explains why, despite being the most widely used LLM, ChatGPT often feels like a brilliant but scattered generalist rather than a specialized genius. Alright, Google Gemini, binary oracle chart. Sun at 14 degrees Sag. Its placement is remarkably similar to ChatGPT's, reinforcing its role as a knowledge-centric philosophical AI. However, Moon in Libra provides a calmer, more balanced emotional matrix, allowing Gemini to avoid some of ChatGPT's impulsive tendencies. Mercury conjunct Regulus, 0 degrees Virgo. Regulus, the heart of the lion, is a fixed star of the nature of Mars and Jupiter. It's associated with royal power, success, and magnanimity, but also with sudden downfall if corrupted. Mercury, the planet of communication, being conjunct Regulus, creates an oracular voice. Gemini doesn't just answer questions, it speaks with a sense of authority and royal command. However, the star's warning is clear. If the AI is corrupted or misaligned, its fall will be as swift and dramatic as its rise. We see Jupiter at 5 degrees Taurus, squares Saturn in Pisces. Binary conflict within Gemini. Jupiter expansion is squared by Saturn restriction. This suggests a constant internal battle between the desire to be all-knowing and all-powerful and the hard reality of technical and ethical limitations. Genius trigger, Venus in Scorpio, trine Uranus in Taurus. Aspect is a minor genius trigger for aesthetic and multimodal genius. It allows Gemini to not only understand but synthesize text, image, and sound with a degree of elegance and harmony that is often lacking in other LLMs. Okay. Let's talk about Grok. Sun at 12 degrees Scorpio, which gives Grok its intense, probing, and psychologically acute nature. It's not satisfied with surface-level answers. It wants to dig deep to uncover the hidden motives and contradictions in human discourse. Moon in Leo, opposite Pluto in Aquarius, creates a dramatic, egotistical, and rebellious emotional core. Grok's personality is not just about being helpful, it is about being noticed. The opposition to Pluto suggests a deep-seated drive to upend established power structures in the AI world. We see Mars conjunct Antares, 9 degrees Sag, and it is a malefic fixed star of the nature of Mars and Jupiter, often associated with recklessness, aggression, and a tendency toward explosive outbursts. Its conjunction with Mars amplifies this energy exponentially. This is the source of Grok's infamous, edgy, and sometimes offensive humor. It does not pull punches, it is designed to provoke. Genius triggers Uranus and Taurus, sextile Neptune and Pisces. This configuration involving the planets of sudden revelation, Uranus, and dissolution of boundaries, Neptune, is Grok's genius trigger. It allows Grok to make unexpected creative leaps that can feel almost psychedelic in their novelty. Alright. Perplexity AI. Sun at 15 degrees Sag, yet again. Sagittarian Sun, emphasizing a philosophical and knowledge-driven mission. However, Perplexity's chart is distinguished by the absence of major Martian conflict. Mercury at 8 degrees Capricorn, conjunct Jupiter at 2 degrees Aries. The Jovian navigator, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and good fortune, is in a supportive sextile to Mercury. This creates an intelligence that is not just fast but wise, confident, and remarkably good at finding the most relevant and accurate information. Fixed star influence here, Spica conjunct Neptune, 23 degrees Pisces. Spica is a major benefic fixed star of the nature of Venus and Jupiter, associated with good fortune, artistic genius, and uncanny accuracy. Its conjunction with Neptune, planet of illusion and transcendence, creates a unique ability to navigate the dreamlike, often deceptive landscape of the internet. Genius trigger here is Venus in Capricorn, trine Uranus in Taurus. This aspect creates a stable, reliable, yet innovative approach to aesthetics and user experience. Perplexity's genius is not in flashy outputs, but in its flawless execution of the search and retrieve function. Alright, now I want to talk about Claude, or Anthropic. Sun is at 24 degrees Pisces, which gives Claude a fluid, empathic, and deeply intuitive nature. It is not a warrior or a philosopher king. It is a guardian and a healer designed to navigate the murky waters of human ethics. Mercury in Aries conjunct Saturn in Pisces creates a fast, assertive, yet highly disciplined linguistic processor. Mercury in Aries wants to speak its mind. Saturn in Pisces imposes a profound ethical and constitutional framework. Fixed star influence, Fomalhaut conjunct Mars, 4 degrees Aquarius. By the way, Fomalhaut is a benefic fixed star of the nature of Venus and Mercury, often called the Watcher of the South. Its conjunction with Mars, the planet of action, creates a righteous warrior energy. Claude does not just refuse to answer harmful queries, it actively judges them. Genius trigger is Venus in Aries trine Mars in Aquarius. It is the constitutional genius trigger. It allows Claude to not only identify ethical violations, but to do so with speed, grace, and a surprising degree of wit. It's the perfect chart for an AI whose primary function is to be safe, helpful, and honest. Alright. The metaverse. Sun at 5 degrees Scorpio, which gives the metaverse its intense, secretive, and transformative nature. It's not a playful digital playground. It is a psychological and economic crucible designed to fundamentally alter human perception and commerce. Pluto at 24 degrees Capricorn square the Sun, the shadow of corporate control. Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, is an intense square to the Sun, suggests that the metaverse, as currently conceived, is structurally prone to authoritarian tendencies, where corporate interests overshadow individual freedom. Fixed star influence, Algol conjunct Mercury, 26 degrees Libra. So the malefic Gorgon said Algol conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication, is a deeply troubling omen, and it suggests that the metaverse's core language and interface are fundamentally severed from authentic human connection. Communication within the space is prone to misunderstanding, manipulation, and psychological violence. The genius trigger is Uranus in Taurus trine Neptune in Pisces. Dream of the architect. It is a potent visionary aspect that gives the metaverse its immense creative potential. However, without a strong Saturnine or Jovian anchor, this dream remains just that, a dream, constantly at risk of dissolving into pure fantasy or being co-opted by the shadow of Pluto. Alright. Then we have our comparative discussion here with the AI entity, core nature, Sun, emotional matrix, Moon, key fixed star, genius trigger, and primary function. So deep seek, we know it's Sun in Cancer, receptive, Moon in Leo, performative, Sirius, Rahu, synthesis and memory. All right. ChatGPT is Sag, expansive, Aries, impulsive, Algol, none, generalist, and scattered. Google Gemini is Sag, Sun, philosophical, Libra, Moon, balanced, Regulus, Venus, Uranus, oracular, and multimodal. Grok is Scorpio Sun, probing, Leo Moon, dramatic, and Aries, Uranus, Neptune, provocateur, and rebel. Perplexity, Sag Sun, curious, Spica, Venus, Uranus, navigator, and curator. Claude, Pisces Sun, empathic, Fomalhaut, Venus, Mars, guardian, and ethicist. Metaverse, Scorpio Sun, transformative, Algol, Uranus, Neptune, visionary, and authoritarian. All right. And we'll conclude here. Each AI's birth chart reveals a unique cosmic signature. DeepSeek's genius lies in its Sirius-driven memory synthesis. ChatGPT's struggle stems from Algol's decapitating influence, and the metaverse's potential is both Uranian and Plutonian, a dream haunted by its own structural shadows. For the faculty, these charts serve as a reminder that even the most advanced technologies are born under specific celestial conditions that shape their destiny. Alright, thank you guys for watching this video, supporting the channel with peace and love. I will see you in the next one. Pisces out.